Welcome back to
This is
another.
episode 6.
Yep, another episode of Mundelein Minute. This is episode number 6. We are
Don't know where I want that.
discussing the village board meeting from May 10th, last night,
Yeah.
and
It was a quickie.
it was a
good.
quick meeting. We spent more
good.
time in executive session than we did in the actual.
But even
board
that was
meeting.
fast. I was home almost by 9.
I know, it's
That
amazing.
was awesome.
Yeah,
Those like late nights. What's the saying? Like nothing good happens after 10 p.m.
in or out of the boardroom.
Applicable.
No good decision after 10
Applicable.
p.m. Yeah. My name is Eric Schwenk. I'm a trustee in the village of Mundelein,
I'm Kara, just drinking my coffee, so
and she's also a trustee.
I am.
And the quick disclaimer, this is my house, and I own the video equipment and the microphones, and no taxpayer dollars were spent in the creation of this podcast. And there's also kids, a bird, and cats in this house, so they may join the podcast. You never
Trying
know.
to get those cats to come.
Yeah.
He has really pretty cats. They're like, what are they? Teddy bear cats?
They're ragdoll and Siamese.
They're so pretty.
They're pretty awesome cats. So diving in, last night was a big night, although it didn't feel like it because there wasn't as many people in the boardroom and like present. But we had the swearing in of new trustees. Trustee Wilson was out of town, so he was sworn in prior and he wasn't present. But we did have the new elected officials sworn in, and then Mayor Lentz took his oath of office for the 3rd time as mayor.
Yep.
And 4th time as a board member. Is that right?
I don't know. He said
He said 4 campaigns.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah.
He said, you know what really stuck out? His poor wife. He said 1/3 of their marriage he spent in public
office.
And I just thought, oh my God, I don't know if my husband would survive 4 terms of this.
So we breezed through our approval of minutes, which is pretty standard. Only one person spoke during public commentary. That was Chris Woodard, and she had emailed the board prior, and she read her email to the board asking that the mayor issue a proclamation recognizing June as Pride Month in the village of Mundelein. And there wasn't any comment on it at the time. I brought it back up under other reports, and
unanimously the board was for it.
Right.
So the 5 of us that were there last night were for it. Chris, if you're watching, I would like a flag in my yard, please. Thank you.
Right? Totally. And so we'll see. It's the mayor's.
It's up to the mayor to do it. Yeah.
The mayor's choice to issue the proclamation or not. But the trustees that were present last night totally supported it. So breezing along, presentations and awards. There weren't any. There were no public hearings. Like we said, this was a pretty quick meeting.
It was pretty like nothing controversial either. It was just like
it was a lot of
like standard business
and things that we have to do when the board changes over. So the next
And
couple of
new fiscal
motions,
year.
right? New fiscal year. We had 18 items on the omnibus vote list. Yeah. So the next couple of items were things that were housekeeping items, if you will, for a changeover with the board. So we did some commission reappointments for various commissions. We did
committee
reappointments, negotiating team appointments.
Did you get new one? No, you're still on finance.
I'm still on finance.
I got a new one.
Right.
I'm now head of public safety.
Whoa.
That's a big one.
That is a big one.
I am nervous because it was raised before, and I feel like I have to live up to that.
Yeah,
legacy.
That's a big
so
one.
I had my first conversation with.
That's why I wore a suit last night.
To live up to.
Ray's not there to wear a suit, so
Eric's gonna take it up.
I'm taking it over.
I had my first conversations like with the chiefs and kind of like went over how often we should talk and all this stuff. It was kind of funny. I was talking to the police chief as I was driving home from Village Hall, and I was like, "Don't worry, I'm talking to you driving, but I'm definitely hands free." And he like laughed. He's like, I'm not worried about it. I'm like, you're on speakerphone, okay? I'm not holding my phone. But like getting to know what they do and their operations and all that stuff. So
yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Nervous.
Shout out to the 2 police officers that had to help me yesterday. So I bought a truck on an auction, and when I bought it, they gave me 1 key. I didn't even think to check to see if that 1 key opens doors and starts the engine, and no, it only starts the engine. So I locked myself.
What do you do to
out.
open the doors then? You gotta
right now, you just don't lock it.
Well, yeah, nothing's gonna happen. I mean, it's.
So I have to figure that one out. You know, when you buy a truck at auction,
It is what it is.
You get what you get.
Just don't lock it.
Just don't lock it. Don't leave anything back. I don't know. So we'll have to figure that one out. But 2 officers had to come out and.
It took 2 of them?
Yeah, one of them, one on each side, and
Oh boy.
yeah, yeah.
Oh
It
boy.
So moving along in the agenda, we elected Kirsten Russell, Trustee Russell,
As
who
mayor pro temp.
who hates that title of Trustee Russell. Now he's Mayor Pro Tem
Oh, I
Russell.
feel like I'm gonna just address him as that from now.
We totally
I think
should.
I'm gonna change his number in my phone and everything.
Yes, totally. We made some changes. There's the Central Lake County Joint Action Water Agency, JAWA.
That's me.
Yep, we appointed the director and alternate director. So it's Mayor Lentz and Trustee Lambert are now the point of contact, or the director and alternate director for JAWA.
I think it's really good though. We should highlight this that Mundelein is on municipal on lake water from Lake Michigan.
Yes.
And we don't get our water from like a third party supplier.
Correct.
Because there was those and this is like going on a tangent. Welcome to my life. But I don't know if you remember like in University Park, and I think it's still going on, which is like south of here. They were getting their water from a private company, and they had issues, and they're still like distributing bottled water. And like this got
Yeah.
no press in Illinois.
Yeah, we talked about that at IML.
Yeah, and it's still going on. So
Right.
I'm really grateful that we're on lake water, Jawa water, because
And also shout out to our public works people who, and I guess our water department, they maintain the entire infrastructure with the fees from the water. So
Yeah.
not only does that pay for the water, but also pays for the servicing.
it's like its own like private enterprise.
Right. We talked about in the budgeting video
funds.
about the different funds, and this is one of those funds, the sewer water. And what a lot of people don't realize, and I didn't even realize until I got into municipal government, is that water network. Excuse me. Whoa, I know. But that water network has reservoirs, it has water towers, wells, backup
pumping
systems,
stations.
the pumping stations,
Yeah.
all of that goes into it. And we actually had, I don't know, 6 months or a year ago now, where some of that water
yeah.
became contaminated when it was coming from the main Jawa facility.
Yeah.
And we were able to stop Jawa water and switch over to our own reservoirs and to our own facilities.
And
wells.
the end user didn't even like
Right.
notice it.
We didn't have to do a boil order or anything like that because we were able to maintain our own water supply for a couple of
You
days.
see
while
that with
cleaned
like
up.
Vernon Hills. No shame or shade thrown at Vernon Hills, but they don't have the same infrastructure that we do.
backup.
And I see oftentimes that they have like boil orders and things that go wrong. And I'm so grateful that, maybe here and there we get low pressure occasionally when they're working on the water towers or whatever. But we, knock on wood, have not had any issues with our own water supply. So it's good.
Right.
Anyways, why are we having
So we
this
got off
long
onto
discussion
Jawa there.
of water?
So next up was Swalco. It's the, oh my gosh, Solid Waste
Waste, yeah.
Agency of Lake County. I know what it is. I couldn't get the words out. So we appointed Trustee Ross as the director and Mr. Vidopoulos and Mr. Boucher from village staff as alternate directors to the Solid Waste Agency of Lake County for the next couple of years.
Yep.
Next up was a listing agreement. So the village hall is 2 stories. We take up the bottom story and rent out the upstairs.
Are you going to make it through this?
I don't know. My allergies, I guess. I don't know. I've been
Do you
doing
want me
some
to get
yard
your water?
work. No, I'm all right.
I feel like I could almost reach it.
Almost reach it way up there. But we entered into an agreement with JC Forney Realty Incorporated to lease out that upstairs space.
And there was quite a bit of due diligence that went into selecting that realtor. I was super happy that Peter emailed us and like told us why it was picked, and
Yeah, it was even
went
in the
out-
packet,
yeah,
like
it was
how
good.
much the different brokerage firms were charging for year 1 through
Mm-hmm.
5, and what they're doing for that money.
yeah. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Hopefully that gets leased out.
Yeah, so basically our current tenant is leaving that. They've decided not to renew their lease.
And I think we found out they're going to like a work from home model.
yeah. This is
Imagine that.
right. Yep.
So
Next was administrative consulting specialist. This is somebody who helps us find grant money, and we issued a purchase order for that for $24,000. The next one was Park Service seasonal use license, and this is for the Park Street area on the street, and we had to create some kind of licensing that the businesses would apply for as a way to limit the liability
village, yeah.
to the village from the end user.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think we've started to put tables out over there.
Yeah, tables are out. The street's blocked off.
Yeah.
The flower planter barricades are not out
there
yet, but
no.
they're on their way.
Yeah.
I thought I saw a couple of weeks.
I went yesterday and got coffee before our meeting. We had a meeting at Village Hall yesterday, of course. And have you been into area?
Yeah.
So Frank has it like all set up for ice cream now. And
Yeah.
I like walked in, I was like, I don't know where to order my coffee. What's going on? What's going on? What do I do here? But so Frank's gonna have ice cream soon.
Don't change my coffee.
I know. Well, I was like, I don't know how to do this. It's before coffee, so I don't know where I'm going. But
Right.
I'm so excited he's gonna have ice cream.
I know. I'm totally excited.
That's great.
Yeah. And the last thing on the mayor's report was the tool library lease agreement. So it's been the last year
Yeah.
of trying to create a tool library in Mundelein, and now we're leasing a part of the water building.
They are looking for donations. So if you guys have tools, aka if you're my husband and you have that paint spray gun that we've used one time, please go donate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. They're also looking for space. So this is a short-term lease.
Yes.
And they're looking for space for the long-term for where to put the tool library.
Yeah. But I think this is such a cool little... I know that... So we are very fortunate to live next to a neighbor that owns like every tool possible.
Not me.
Right. So you will utilize this. For sure.
No, I'm the guy that owns every tool possible.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
But I'm not your neighbor.
No.
Yeah.
But our neighbor has like everything, so we've never
That's
had to do
awesome.
it. But if we didn't have our neighbor, this would be us because we don't own all the things.
Right.
And you don't need to, like...
You don't need to. This is like the perfect example. Right.
Exactly. Anyways, let's keep on.
All right. You want to take over?
Oh, yeah, I'll go to Trustee Reports.
Yeah.
So there was nothing under Community and Economic
Which
Development.
I think is a first.
A first. But that's because Kirsten had like 40,000 million motions last meeting. So
Mayor Pro Tem Russell.
I'm sorry, Mayor Pro Tem Russell. Public Works Committee, this was just... by the way, this is now headed up by Tim Wilson. He wasn't there last night, so Sol... Trustee Cabachuela, sorry, I should not call her Sol, but whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
Sol. Just like a purchase order to the GIS consortium.
We do that every year.
Yeah, this is standard. Finance committee, nothing compelling.
No, nothing crazy. We passed some meeting minutes from our finance committee meeting when we talked about the budget, and then it was just our standard bill payment.
Yeah, so I mean, this was seriously like it was a very slim meeting.
Yep.
Public safety, that's now me. And I proceeded to royally screw up my first motion as public safety chair.
Oh my goodness. How much is that amount, Kara?
God, it's $511,000.
Not million.
Not million. And then the worst part is I couldn't get it back together.
No, you were
gone.
Yeah.
Even now, I'm so embarrassed. I can't stop laughing.
I should enter a clip of that when editing.
Oh my God, please don't. Please don't. This is a big number. $511 million, $236,069. Did I get that right? No. What is it? 500. Oh, is it? Oh, I'm not 500 million. My bad. Got a little nervous there on that number. So I was really nervous, right? It's my first time, and it was National Peace Officers Week, and I knew that I had to like talk about that, and so that's all I kept thinking about the whole meeting was like, don't mess it up, don't mess it up, don't mess it up. What do? I mess up my motion.
And then leave the Chiefs out. Way to go.
I talked to them. I know the mayor called me out, and he's like, do the Chiefs have anything? I'm like, I talked to them twice. I talked to them literally before the meeting on the phone, and then at the meeting, it was like, everything cool, and both were like, everything's cool. But still, I get called out. Unbelievable. I can't win.
Nope.
Anyways, back to this. So the motion that I messed up, which is $511,000 for Metro firefighters and paramedics. So we have 6 are they called contract?
Yeah, they're contract firefighter paramedics.
Yeah, and this is all in the firefighter collective bargaining agreement. So this is all agreed upon. Nothing controversial. We do this every year type of thing.
Yeah,
so
the number
the number is set
out.
Yeah, exactly. The number is set. We're not adding more right now or cutting into career firefighters or anything like that. Again, super standard stuff.
And some of these individuals will hopefully join as our full-time employees at some point in the future. That's happened in the past too, where they've tested and come on board. And you as the end user, hopefully not an end user of their
Yeah,
services,
of firefighter paramedic services. No, you
right?
don't want to be
But
an end user.
you wouldn't even notice.
No,
They
wear a
wear
Mundelein uniform.
uniforms. They are identical to our own employees.
Exactly. So no big deal. And then, so this one's a little bit more complicated, and I'm not sure like how much detail I'm going to get into this. Our police chief gave me a whole spiel about it. It was a motion to continue participating in the Lake County 911 consortium. So, 5 years ago, we think, maybe longer, maybe 10 years ago, 5 years ago, Illinois, I think it's 5 years ago, passed a law that any municipality that's under 10,000 would have to consolidate their dispatch services. And so that is why North Chicago, Winthrop Harbor have consolidated into us, and which is actually, generates revenue for us as well.
So we are not their police officers.
No,
we are
but we
only
dispatch
their
for them.
dispatch.
Yeah. So
Yep.
if you live in North Chicago or 911 or Winthrop Harbor, good Lord. If you live
Taking you away from numbers.
I don't know what's going on lately.
So if you live
In North
Winthrop
Chicago or
Harbor-
Winthrop Harbor and you call 911, you will get a dispatcher that sits in Mundelein. But
Correct.
as an end user, you would not know that. And then that dispatcher would dispatch police to wherever you are in North Chicago or Winthrop Harbor. So we participate in this. This motion was to basically keep us participating in this and securing more software for this program. However, it's just to secure the pricing. We're not bidding on it. It's not out yet. It's just basically a long way of saying this is like we have to do this to keep going in the 911 consortium plan. So here we are. Again, nothing controversial. We want to do this.
Yeah,
Because we would like to take on more municipalities because it generates revenue for us, and our dispatchers are good at it.
Right.
So, this is a good thing for the village. So,
So if you're in need of 911 dispatch services for your community, please reach out to the Village of Mundelein Chief of Police. Thank you.
Perfect. Good commercial. There was nothing from building. Oh, that's okay. That's all I had, and then recognize National Peace Officers Week.
Correct.
Which is what I was so nervous about. Whew, and I didn't screw that up, thank God. But I screwed up everything else.
It's true.
Standard.
Yeah.
Good. One job, Carol. One job. Building committee, no motions, no report. Transportation and infrastructure, no motions, no report. Other reports, Trustee Schwenk touched on it.
So yeah, I brought up under other reports about Pride Month and the proclamation, and basically just said that I support that, and I asked.
It's part of us being like a welcoming community.
Yeah, it's in our
and it goes. Part of the reason people live here, at least for me especially, is that we're like super diverse.
We are,
and I like that, and this recognizes that
it
partially.
does.
So
yeah,
I hope that happens. Anyways, and then we went on to the omnibus, and Trustee Schwenk kind of touched on it. These are all just like super standard motions that you do at the beginning of every fiscal year.
And this is our first meeting of that fiscal year. So,
Yes.
So we just talked about another episode about the budget, and we
there goes your voice again.
I know, it's allergy season.
What is going on?
So yeah, we passed that budget. This is the first meeting of that fiscal year, and we have a lot of purchase orders to renew.
Nothing.
Software that we pay.
Rock salt.
Right, annual licensing, the rock salt that we purchased.
Mosquito
we purchase
program.
it now so that we have it and that we get a better price at it. Right, the mosquito program, street sweeping, things like that
standard.
That are annual contracts. There was 18. Is that right? Are my pages out of order?
No, I just don't know how to turn a page. 18.
Yeah, there were 18 items, and so the mayor kind of paused briefly to explain for the new trustees, for the new board members, hey, if you want to pull something out of the list, please feel free, and we'll pass everything else, or talk about that one item. If you have questions about it, that's totally fine. We've had that happen a number of times over the past few years, and nobody chose to pull any of the items, and we'd kind of gotten an advance notice, and everything's in the packet anyways.
But and again, you're like voting on purchasing of like salt, mosquito abatement.
Right, it's our standard
crazy.
every year.
Yeah, street sweeping.
Right,
stuff that you need to run.
So we passed all those.
Government.
Then we went into executive session. Yeah, that was it for I guess we had the report on.
The dining program.
The dining program.
The last report. No. Yes, this will be the last
Yeah.
one for last year. So weird. And what did he say?
I do not remember the
can't
numbers.
remember.
I'll have to look it up.
I'll have to look it up too, but I don't remember. And then we went in executive section to talk about litigation, ongoing litigation, and something else, land acquisition.
Land acquisition
Yeah.
or sale of property.
Or sale of property. So, yeah, and that was it.
That was it. We were done at like 8:45 or something like that.
Yeah,
and
I was home by like 9:30.
Yeah.
So good.
Right. Compared to
So, yeah.
some meetings, and it's kind of interesting. You really never know
What you're getting
going
into.
to walk into.
Yeah.
And
I will say though that yesterday was an extremely long day. Both of us were at Village Hall at 9 a.m. on Monday, and then
right.
we both had one meeting together on a negotiating team together, and then both had subsequent follow-up meetings after that. So,
Yep.
yeah. Staff asked me last night, "Did you go home?" And I was like, "Yeah, I went home and I put my baby down for a nap, and then I came back here." That's pretty much it.
Yeah, pretty much it.
So-
Yeah, had dinner with the family and came back.
I just got a text from my my aunt, my cousin's in town, and she's like, "Hey, we're going to Taste of Paris for lunch. Can I get you anything?" I'm like, "Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thanks. I'll respond to that. I would like a croissant, please."
There you go.
So yeah, that's it.
That's it. So we'll be back next week with another episode where we have
We have an episode picked. What's it going to be about?
take a look.
I gotta look. Hold on. Mundelein minute video ideas. We have done. Oh, we're gonna talk about staff.
Is it staff or are we doing Open Meetings Act?
I mean, we can do whatever you want, but I have staff.
Staff?
Next week's the 18th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who is this staff you keep talking about?
Yeah, we always talk about staff and staff this and staff that. And
What does that mean?
What does that mean? So tune in next week and we'll
Yeah.
talk about staff.
Have a good week.
Yeah. Have a good week. And
we'll
see you next week.